You've heard it before. We will fix this. We will reduce costs. We will take control. Every election, every speech, every promise. And yet, for many people in Britain, the feeling is always the same. Nothing really changes. Prices stay high, public services remain under pressure, and the same problems keep coming back again and again. So what is actually going on? Why do political promises in the UK keep getting broken? Is it because politicians are lying? Or is the truth much more complicated than that? Because this isn't just about one leader or one party. It's a pattern, a cycle that has repeated itself for years. And once you understand how this cycle works, you start to see it everywhere. To understand why promises keep getting broken, you first have to understand what a political promise really is. When politicians speak during campaigns, they are not just explaining policy. They are selling a version of the future. A future that sounds clear, simple, and achievable. They take complex problems and compress them into short, powerful statements. We will fix the economy. We will reduce immigration. We will improve healthcare. These statements are designed to be understood instantly, and more importantly, believed. But what they leave out is everything that makes those problems difficult in the first place. Because real-world problems are messy. They don't have simple solutions, and they don't respond quickly to change. Take the economy. A government might promise to lower the cost of living, but inflation can be driven by global energy prices, international supply chains, wars, market reactions, things that are far beyond the control of any single government. So even if a government genuinely wants to reduce costs, it may not be able to do so quickly, or at all, and this creates the first major gap. The gap between what is promised and what is actually possible. But complexity alone doesn't explain everything, because there is also a political incentive to promise more than can be delivered. Elections are competitive. Parties need to stand out. They need to give people a reason to choose them, and that pressure leads to bigger promises, stronger claims, more confidence, even when the situation is uncertain. Because during an election, clarity wins, nuance loses. A simple promise beats a complicated explanation every time. Saying this will take years and involve trade-offs does not win votes. Saying we will fix it does. So promises become sharper, cleaner, more absolute. But reality never is. Once a party wins power, everything changes. They are no longer campaigning, they are governing. And governing means dealing with constraints, budgets, institutions, legal systems, international agreements, economic conditions. Every decision has consequences. Raise spending in one area, and you may increase borrowing. Cut taxes, and you may reduce funding elsewhere. Tighten immigration, and you may create labor shortages. There is no perfect solution, only trade-offs. And those trade-offs are where promises begin to break down, because what sounded simple during a campaign becomes complicated in government. And what sounded achievable becomes difficult to deliver. But there is another problem: time. Most political cycles are short. Governments think in terms of elections, 4 or 5 years, sometimes even less. But many of the problems they promise to fix take decades to solve. Reforming healthcare systems, improving education, fixing infrastructure, addressing housing shortages. These are long-term challenges. They require consistent policy over many years, but political reality doesn't allow that. Governments face pressure to show results quickly. They need visible progress. They need headlines. They need something to point to before the next election. So instead of deep structural change, they often focus on short-term actions. Things that look like progress, even if they don't fully solve the problem. And again, the gap grows between expectation and reality. There is also the issue of political risk. Some solutions are known, but they are unpopular. Raising taxes, cutting spending, reforming benefits, making difficult economic decisions. These actions can solve problems, but they can also cost votes. So politicians face a choice: do what is effective or do what is politically safe. And very often they choose what is safer. They delay difficult decisions. They soften policies. They look for alternatives that are easier to present, but less effective in practice. And once again, the promise remains only partially fulfilled. There is also a deeper layer to this. Modern politics operates in a constant media environment. News never stops. Social media reacts instantly. Every decision is analyzed, criticized, and amplified within minutes. This creates